right, good evening, folks. I am going to call to order the Finance Committee meeting for January 25th, 2022. That seems odd saying that, but it is 2022. So we do have a quorum, and we'll get started. So first, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so it is 7:05 by my watch. Like I said, we do have a quorum. We have done the Pledge of Allegiance, and now we'll do Stan Limpert's favorite part. We'd like to open up for public comment. Okay. And our public here has deferred. So we'll move past public comment, seeing as there is none. Next on our agenda, we're just cruising through this, is the approval of minutes. I think the minutes from our last meeting were found in the online folder. I'm not sure if anybody had a chance to look at them. I did. I didn't see anything wrong. I'm getting a couple thumbs up and nods. So if I could have a motion for the approval of minutes, I would greatly appreciate it.
Approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and all those in favor of approving the minutes from our last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? Okay, the ayes have it, and the minutes are approved. Okay, I feel like we're at warp speed here. So next, I would like to call up our favorite town employee, Lynn Savage, our Director of Town Finance, Lynn Savage. Thanks for coming tonight, Liz. We invited Liz tonight, Lynn, sorry. Jeez, Lynn. We invited Lynn tonight. Our last meeting was the tri-board meeting. Understand that was mostly about Facilities Master Plan 2 and all that stuff, which is very much in Melissa Rodriguez's wheelhouse, but Lynn offered to come and answer any additional questions or questions maybe outside of Facility Master Plan 2 that we had, maybe something that we saw in Facility Master 2 that sparked a question in another area of the, the budget. I did talk to Melissa earlier this week, and she has apologized for not being able to make it tonight. She had a conflict, but said she is more than willing to be available for our next meeting, and also happy to take any questions or anything via email or phone or meet with her. She just couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately.
She's going to be at the next school committee meeting.
She is going to be, she is going to be at the school committee meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
They have also invited Laura Bates to be there and for me to be there, because they are going to open it up to the public for comments, and invited us to be there in person to observe. So I'm going to take them up on that, and I would encourage everybody to watch it on television if you can, and if not, on YouTube later. The North Andover CAM does a fantastic job of doing the live feeds and the recordings. So.
Did a presentation at Board of Selectmen.
So that was the next thing I was going to go over. She did, and she supplied the Board of Selectmen with a letter, which I asked Jillian to put in all of our packets, and so you should have that. It is, so I'll just sort of paraphrase it real quickly. It is in reference to overrides and exclusions. As a result of the tri-board meeting, I guess she got some questions about some debt exclusion, when an override or debt exclusions would be needed with the plan that she presented at tri-board meeting, and I'll just outline it. You all have it, and it's available for the public as well. That under the Facilities Master Plan 2 plan that she proposed, a debt exclusion would be needed in fiscal year 25 if the town was not successful in securing Massachusetts School Building Commission funding assistance for the Kittredge, I believe that they're looking for that.
Yeah.
And then in the event that the town does get that funding, a debt exclusion would not be required until fiscal year 28, with the plan as she outlined it at the meeting. That, not to say it won't change and that could be changed, but the plan as we have it, that she put together, and with the facts that we have now, that's that's part of the plan. So in the letter, she goes over the background, override, exclusion, the procedures, and all that sort of thing. So she is planning to go over it as Chris mentioned at the school committee meeting on Thursday. So, I mean, I think that's another good reason for everybody to watch it if they can. Because there will, she will go over that, and I'm sure there will be questions about it. So, now, I think I could take a break and breathe. Does anybody have any questions on anything I just said for Lynn, on the budget, facility master plan 2, the letter from Melissa, anything like that?
Sorry, when did you
Yeah.
say the school committee meeting?
It's at 7 p.m., I believe, on Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yep, and they do it in the school administration building. I think it's going to be there. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I think they're expecting quite a few people from the public, so I don't know if they are planning to move it to a bigger building. I don't know if our folks from CAM know that off the top of it. They're checking. But I think most of their meetings almost all of their meetings are in the school administration building.
As far as I know,
Yeah, that's where they're planning it, so thank you. Anything, Chris?
Just real quick, the plan that she presented at the selectmen's meeting this past Monday, was it very much different than what we saw at the tri-board meeting? I was watching it on TV and I got interrupted, but I was trying to see if she said there had been some tweaks. Do you know what they were between one and the next?
I don't know exactly what the tweaks were, because I wasn't at the meeting
Oh,
last
okay,
night.
okay.
Because I'm working on the budgets and stuff.
Yeah.
and get
Oh,
all
no,
that
you're
stuff
not
done.
busy.
Everybody's busy, everybody.
I was just curious because
Um,
it sounded like it was pretty much the same and I missed that there was some, so I'll
Yeah,
have to
I'm
watch
not
again
sure
tomorrow.
if they are, I don't think they're very
Okay.
large
Yeah.
changes. I think it's very minor.
Okay.
She might have just got,
Because she's
additional
got it
numbers.
all
or-
laid out really well.
She does.
She really does.
She does, and I believe she probably has a PowerPoint, I'm sure that she'll have.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
she does. But it is, I must say, you really should watch it if you at all possible, because it is confusing. Particularly got to follow, like, the difference between override and exclusion. I mean,
Right.
are you real comfortable with what the differences are and what they mean, and how does it mean going forward, and why you would use it and why you wouldn't? Those are the kinds of things
Right,
that
and
she.
I think her letter explains it
Yes,
very
it
does.
clearly in layman's terms.
Yep,
For somebody, like, because not everybody understands it all, so it's always nice the way she puts things together, because she puts it in a level that, so normal.
You don't have to be a finance person.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand it. And,
Right.
I mean, we work with this all the time, and but you don't work with it all the time, so it's
But
hard to understand sometimes.
It's a lot. It's
It is.
it's complicated. It's
And
a
it's- yeah.
huge project.
It's a little overwhelming if you
Yeah.
don't understand it as well, because
Yep.
it just seems like it's a lot.
So I wish I could say I had a
And we'll have
specific
her
question.
in so that she can go
Yeah.
over it in case anybody has any additional questions after, going back in the tri-board meeting or the school committee
It's
meeting.
going to morph over time anyway.
I'm sure it
There's
is.
just no way for it
It
to
will.
be.
It's a long period of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
some of this goes out to, what?
Yeah.
I don't even,
But even between
none of us
now
will be
and
here
town
when
meeting.
when we get to the end of this.
Yeah.
2058 or something. It's a lot.
Don't say
Yeah. So, Lynn, while we have you, maybe, I know you are working on a lot of budget things right now. Maybe you could walk us through a little bit of what you're working on and the timing, what you expect to get things out.
Okay. So we sent out the budget instructions. I sent them out in November to all the departments.
Yep.
They were due back to me the first week of January. I put all the packages I looked at all the numbers, put it all together, determine whether, how close we are as far as meeting revenue, because we already set the revenues, or we know what the revenues are, how close we are. Of course, we never are. We're always way over. So then I put, worksheets together for Melissa, myself, and Dee, the deputy town manager. We sit down, review it all, and then meet individually with all the departments. We did that all by Google Meet meetings, not in person, which was kind of different this year to do that. You get everybody on the
bet.
screen. So we reviewed it all with each department, made some adjustments, cuts, determined, what the needs were for each department. Got that all together. I finalized, massaging the numbers a little bit here and there, and came up with a balanced budget. I gave back to the town manager. We agreed on, set forth. So now I'm putting it all together, putting my budget book together, updating all my spreadsheets and everything, and gotta get it to the printer. My final piece is meeting with the Revenue Fixed Cost Committee on Monday, hopefully, to go over the shared cost. that I've determined based on all the information I've gotten through the insurance companies and things like that, what they need to be to meet our budgets and our needs right now. Get that voted by them and get the budget book finalized in everybody's hands by the 7th. That's the Board of Selectmen's meeting that it gets presented on the 7th, and then you guys will get it on the 8th. Yep. And from there, you guys will set up your meetings.
Then we'll set up then we'll
list.
go into full,
Right,
full gear.
Full gear, for
That's
sure.
right.
Yep.
And
It'll
just,
be a busy February.
it will be, and just in case anybody wasn't quick enough to write all that down, we do have the schedule in our Finance Committee folder online, and I know that, I believe Jillian shared it with everybody, but we can reshare it if folks don't have it at their hand, just so you know it. But to Lynn's point, February will be a busy month for us. We'll probably meet more, we will meet more frequently, and go over a lot, so.
Yeah, because you'll have to review the capital and vote on the capital,
Yep.
and then the budget comes next, and then you have your deadline. And the difficult part this year was, of course, the $6 million new growth. And making sure that we used it smart, looked at it smartly. We gotta make sure we can sustain it in the years to come. I mean, we can't take $6 million and dump it all into the operating budget and expect to sustain that year after year, because it's not gonna happen. We gotta use it thoughtfully and in the right places, which took some time to figure out. Rather than, using it operated, we used it on one-time expenses. So, but it all worked out. We do have a balanced budget. So
Good.
that's a good thing.
Thank you, Lynn. Anybody else have any questions? No? Dan? Yeah?
So when you say the schedule is available online, is it the Google Drive, the same Google Drive
Yep.
we've been using? Okay.
Yep, I can forward it to you right now if that'd help.
It's in the Google Drive, I can find
Okay,
it.
yeah, no problem.
I wasn't sure if you meant it was online on the town website.
Sorry, yeah. No, it's in the Finance Committee Google Drive, yep.
Right. Well, and there is a budget calendar on the website that outlines the basic dates for specific requirements. But I think the Finance Committee has a separate one too.
Yep.
For your needs.
Yep.
Lynn, do you guys have any sense of what you're going to get for state aid? The state, last time my check seemed to be pretty flush with cash.
Yeah.
We feel pretty good that there's going to be no negative surprises, but.
Well, we haven't increased it, of course, as you know, we usually level it to what FY '22 is, and we haven't heard any indication that it's gonna be more yet, and we won't probably till March, maybe April, which is the hard part with the state, because they wait so long to tell us what they're gonna put in the budget for next year, so by that time, we'll already have our budget
Right.
set, and we're ready to go to town meeting, so it just helps in the long run next year. If we do get more, then it will fall to the bottom line and go to free cash and help us for 2024. Yep. Which is long range,
Yep.
We're already thinking about 2024, believe it or not. We finished 23 and I already have a folder for 24.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
2 years in advance already. Yeah. So,
Okay, anybody else? Regina, Chris, Dustin, Brianna? No? Okay, that's it, Liz. Yeah, more to come for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right. Our next thing on the agenda is discussion of the Finance Committee policies and rules of procedure. So this is one, if you recall, we do need to approve our Finance Committee policies and rules of procedure. We've put this off a couple times. I think we had some more edits the last time. I believe, and Chris, I'm going to look to you, that all the edits were taken care of. I think you had some,
I think so.
I thought they were too.
I didn't get a chance to reread the whole thing, but I remember we did go through that. I mean, and you have to remind me, we voted on changing how many people it took to have a minority opinion, right? We already took that vote.
I believe we did. I'll have to, I want to be sure though.
Yeah.
So that's,
So that would have been the meeting before the tri-meeting?
it would have been, yes. Do want to just double check that though.
We still have a couple typos.
So I think the typos got fixed.
Okay, so I clicked on the one that was in the drive today, and
Yeah.
I'm noticing a couple more.
Oh, you, okay, okay.
I can send them
Excellent.
over.
Yeah,
It's
please.
not a big deal, but.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, no, please send them over, and then I'll double check that we fixed the minority report. I
Yeah.
feel like we did.
Because I remember everybody was like, yeah, and it seemed like we voted, we had a discussion, we voted. Do you remember that, Regina?
I don't remember if we voted.
Like,
I
oh,
remember-
We
God.
definitely had
So
the discussion,
bad.
yeah.
This is
I'm not sure if we
awful.
voted because I know at the time we had more edits to do. So
Right.
I'm not sure if we put that vote off until
Might not have voted.
they were all done. So,
Yep,
so we
exactly.
won't vote on it today.
Yep.
Again,
That's the
we'll put it on the next agenda. I will double check the minority report. Brandon will get your
Yeah. He's
edits.
sending them too.
Um,
I'll send it over to you.
Okay, thanks. And then we'll have Jillian fix those, and we'll have those on our next agenda, hopefully, fingers crossed, to approve, and then we can stop putting that on the agenda and move
Actually, it
forward.
would be good if we all had it in our hands when we came in to vote on it.
I will send a reminder to make sure we all do.
So, I mean, in paper form.
No, no, I
You know what I
understand.
mean?
Yeah, I meant I'll get Jillian to
Yeah,
print this
yeah, just a
out.
couple copies, just because it's not that long, is
Nope.
it? No.
No,
Yeah.
3 pages, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
Yeah.
is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're all staring at her. It's awful.
I'm trying to read it.
I know, that's what I'm, yeah, it's exactly.
I mean, I
Go
read
ahead,
it
Nancy.
before, but-
Yeah, I just have a question. So it talks in B6 about a number of documents that new members are supposed to get.
Mhm.
So I guess my question is, do all these documents exist? And how, as a new member, how would I get them?
So it is my understanding they do exist, and if you haven't gotten them, then we need to get those to you, and I will work with Jillian to make sure you do get those.
Okay, and just maybe one minor thing, one of the items is the Finance Committee policies and rules of procedures, which I assume is this actual document, but this
Correct.
document has a slightly different name, so maybe
Okay.
that's something that could be
Yep.
corrected. And I know the Association of Town Finance Committees handbook, we did receive that, all three of us, the new
Good.
people, I think, received it from Mark DeSalvo, but the other documents,
They're in the folder.
are
I
they?
think
Oh,
they
okay.
are, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you're right, that is a different.
What number is that? I'm just gonna read what.
B6?
Yep. Town charter, town financial policies, open meeting law guidelines, public record guidelines, conflict of interest laws, financial disclosure by public official and employees, the Association of Town Finance Committee handbook, and then this document.
Yeah, those definitely all exist.
Yep. So, all right. Anything else on that anybody could think of so that we don't have to do this again? All right. All right, well, I think, geez, I think that's the agenda, folks. I mean, I love that it's a quick meeting, but they're not all going to be like this as we get closer.
We'll save until February.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should take advantage of the fact that it's being close.
Do you have the calendar, like, up?
I have it right here.
I did, yeah.
Could you just shout out the dates?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
I can't find the calendar on the.
It's in the
I couldn't-
2021 folder.
No,
When I go
I
back,
got the
it doesn't-
fiscal year 23 budget calendar.
I'm logged into the wrong.
I know, me too, I can't.
I've got
do
too
it.
many, I've got too many Gmails.
It's fiscal year 23, yeah.
I find it very complicated. I'm always-
Me too, I
Oh,
can't.
well, we can join my club because I
Yeah.
screw up, I mean, and it's because I have too many email addresses and they're associated with it and I don't always have the same things in it. I have to log in at my .gov
It's not in here.
Just a
email.
bunch of stuff.
So
That's all I know.
Not one of these.
So, we're at the 25th, right? So
Yeah.
the select board vote to adopt the capital improvement plan on January 24th. School committee holds public hearing January 27th. School committee votes on school department budget February 3rd. Deadline for CPA, recommended operating budget issued to the select board on February 7th. Recommended operating budget forward to the finance committee on February 8th. So February 8th. And finance committee vote on capital improvement plan on February 8th as well.
Oh, we vote on
So
February
we
8th.
have a meeting on we vote on
We-
the capital improvement plan and we receive the overall budget book.
Yes, that is correct. That's what it looks like
On the 8th.
on the 8th. And they voted, I don't know, was not able to see the meeting last night, so I don't know if, I assume the select board did hold true to the schedule and vote on the capital improvement plan, but I have not seen nor heard. So I will, I will ask Jillian to forward that to us all.
Sorry,
Now-
what folder was this in?
This is in the the 2020,
I don't have it in a folder
Oh,
right
okay,
now. I
okay.
just have it on my
okay,
computer, sorry.
okay.
Sorry, and then do we have a meeting again on like the 15th or the
We
22nd?
we will, I will double check on that, Regina, but I'm sure that we do.
Oh, well, the 22nd is February break. I think you and I talked about the fact that
We,
we're not
we
gonna-
don't, not have a meeting then, yeah. Let me circle back with Jillian to make sure we're all
Okay, sorry.
meetinged up. I think as you recall, and
That was the purpose of me asking, because February break, a lot of people will be gone, so
Yeah.
let's just please
Well,
try and avoid that week.
no, I totally agree, and I think if you all recall, we did not schedule some meetings because this room wasn't available at the time.
Right.
We all said we wanted to meet here, so I think at the time, we said we'll have to work it out as we get closer
I see.
where we would meet,
Gotcha.
so. All right, Nancy, think you good on that?
Yeah.
Did we answer, yeah? I'm making sure we got all your questions.
Yeah, I don't know where the schedule is, that's all.
I will,
You'll send around, or?
I'll send it around, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Another thing that might be helpful for Brianna and Nancy, anybody, who hasn't been here for longer, is if you reread again last year's warrant, the part of it that we have to put together, because we actually do write that, and how it usually happens is we divide it up into different sections, and everybody just takes responsibility for one area of it. So we've had quite a shift in here in people, so it's something we're going to have to divvy up. Our chairman will say like, okay, who wants to take over? And so think about that, what portion of that interests you, or you might want to pony up and do. And it's not rocket science, it's not horrifying, but there are people who have better strengths in one place or another, so it is something to think about, because that's actually a pretty significant chore, because it has to get done under deadline. And then so what Sasha would do, she'd like, can you get it all to me? And then we'd get everything to her, and she would knit it together, and then like she'd show it to me, and we'd try to make any corrections. And so it was definitely a group effort, but it's a pretty significant one. But
All right, and
Something to
everyone
think
should
about.
have the budget calendar in their inbox now.
okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. All right, so that is it, unless anybody has anything else? No? Ed?
Nope.
No, you're good?
I'm good.
All right. All right, well then I will entertain a motion, any motions possibly for adjournment?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Any seconds?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ed. So at 7:28, I will ask that we take a vote to adjourn the meeting. Ayes for adjournment, nays for staying. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. And then it is unanimous. We are adjourned at 7:28.